Hello everyone, and welcome to MyniQ podcast. I'm your host, and I'll be sharing short English stories and conversations with you every day. Today's episode is The Shadow of Inquisition. And the text level is 3. Learn how to talk about things that happen to something or someone else. Join ideas together and talk about things that might happen. Stick around till the end for 5 quick questions to test your understanding. Alright then, let's get listening.
The Shadow of Inquisition. It was a dark and stormy night in Florence when I received the letter from the Pope's representative. The trial of Galileo had taken place, and the great astronomer was forced to recant his support for the Copernican heliocentric model. As a journalist, I had always been fascinated by the story of Galileo and his struggle against the church's dogma. But now, with the Inquisition's grip tightening on our city, I knew that it was only a matter of time before they came for me. I decided to take a risk and attend a secret meeting with some of the city's prominent intellectuals. We discussed the implications of Galileo's trial and how we could continue his work without being detected by the authorities. As we parted ways, I couldn't shake off the feeling that we were all living on borrowed time. The Inquisition was always watching, waiting for their next victim to come forward and challenge their authority.
Now, let's move on to the conversation between Billy McKelly and their teacher, Louis, after reading the novel.
I loved how the author described the trial of Galileo. It felt so real.
I was on the edge of my seat when I read about the secret meeting between the journalist and other intellectuals. It's crazy to think that they were trying to keep their discussions hidden from the authorities. As a historian, I appreciated how the author wove together historical facts with fictional characters and events. It made for a compelling narrative that was both informative and engaging.
I loved the way the journalist's character was developed throughout the story. You could really feel his sense of urgency and fear as he navigated the treacherous world of 17th century Florence.
The way the author explored themes of censorship, free speech, and intellectual freedom really resonated with me. It made me think about how these issues are still relevant today.
I'm so impressed by how the author took a historical event like Galileo's trial and turned it into a thrilling story that felt contemporary. It shows how timeless these themes really are. As an educator, I think this novel would be fantastic in a history classroom. It has all the makings of a compelling and thought-provoking lesson plan: historical accuracy, engaging characters, and real-world relevance.
I'm gonna have to read more books like this one. They're so well-written and immersive that I get lost in them for hours on end. Can't wait to dive into the next one.
Now, let's test your understanding of the novel and the dialogue with 5 questions. Question 1. What event took place in Florence as described in the story? ʻmaɪ. The trial of Galileo had taken place, and the great astronomer was forced to recant his support for the Copernican heliocentric model. B. A secret meeting between a journalist and other intellectuals occurred. C. A dark and stormy night took place in Florence. D. The Inquisition's grip tightened on our city. E. Galileo and his struggle against the church's dogma were discussed. The answer is A. The trial of Galileo had taken place, and the great astronomer was forced to recant his support for the Copernican heliocentric model. Question 2. What was the journalist doing with some of the city's prominent intellectuals? ʻmaɪ. They were attending a public meeting to discuss the implications of Galileo's trial. B. They were having a secret meeting to discuss how to continue Galileo's work without being detected by the authorities. C. They were planning a protest against the church's dogma. D. They were discussing a new scientific theory. B. They were watching a play about Galileo's life. The answer is B. They were having a secret meeting to discuss how to continue Galileo's work without being detected by the authorities. Question 3. Who is Lua in the dialogue? I. Lua is an 11-year-old boy. B. Lua is a 12-year-old girl. C. Lua is a 42-year-old male teacher. D. Lua is a historian. E. Lua is a journalist. The answer is C. Lua is a 42-year-old male teacher. Question 4. What was the theme that Meg resonated with? I. Censorship and free speech. B. Intellectual freedom and scientific discovery. C. The power of literature to inspire social change. D. The importance of historical accuracy in storytelling. E. The role of education in shaping society. The answer is A. Censorship and free speech. Question 5. What would Leah use the novel for? I. A history textbook. B. A literature review paper. C. A lesson plan for a history classroom. D. A research paper on scientific discovery. E. A book club discussion guide. The answer is C. A lesson plan for a history classroom. That's it for today's quiz. How many did you answer correctly? Thanks for tuning in to my channel today. I hope you enjoyed the stories and conversations and found the quiz challenging yet fun. Don't forget to subscribe or follow us for more daily English learning content. Until next time, keep practicing your English and have a wonderful day.